This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Tonight, a family, an entire community dealing with the worst possible outcome in the case of a missing 10-year-old girl. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Rafael Sanchez. We learned today that 10-year-old Skylee Carmack, who disappeared on Saturday, was found dead in a trash bag behind her home in Gas City. And even more shocking, the child's own stepmother is accused of killing her. Amanda Carmack faces several criminal charges, including murder and neglect resulting in death. Friends, family, and strangers had been on a relentless search for Skylee since Saturday. They held out hope all the way up to receiving the terrible news today. Now, as the pain of the loss settles in, questions remain of how this could happen to this little girl.
Devastating.
Well, for someone.
That poor baby.
It's
not fair.
So sorry.
I don't understand how
I heard this all the time.
How a woman can just strangle a 10-year-old little girl and watch her lifeless in her arms. It doesn't make any sense.
6 other children were removed from the home and placed with the Department of Child Services. No word yet on the day of Skylee's funeral service. A federal lawsuit is taking on 1 Metro police officer and 2 IPS officers involved in a physical confrontation outside of Shortridge High School last month. The video shows an IMPD officer punching a student. And tonight, the family's lawyer released a new video of that incident. The newly released video shows Danielle Pointer expressing her frustration after being called to Shortridge High School in Indianapolis. She was called after a school fight involving 2 of her teenage relatives broke out inside the school last Thursday, August 29th. By the time she arrived, the young men were outside. This video, released by her lawyer, runs for less than 2 minutes. It shows more of the interaction between the people outside and police. We see Pointer's exchange with Metro Police Officer Robert Lawson. Per a federal lawsuit, he allegedly told her, "You want to go to jail? Let's go right now." Moments later, Officer Lawson makes physical contact with the 17-year-old teen. The lawsuit says the officer hit the young man in his left jaw and brought him to the ground. These are the images that went viral and put this incident into the spotlight. The newly filed lawsuit also says the 17-year-old student was headlocked and took a knee to his abdomen before he was arrested and then released. The officer is suspended without pay. The lawsuit seeks damages for violating the civil rights of Pointer and 2 teens. Tomorrow morning, we're set to hear from Pointer and the family lawyer. A threat to public safety in the middle of the day. A shooting in Kokomo was captured on camera while a family was in a nearby park celebrating Labor Day. RTV6's Stephanie Wade is in Kokomo in Howard County with a story you will only see on RTV6.
A woman took her kids here to Studebaker Park in Kokomo on Labor Day. She was actually on Facebook Live when you hear dozens of gunshots. We want to warn you, this video may be disturbing. It was around 6:45 p.m. Chantel Droll had taken her kids to the park. You can see her 2-year-old playing basketball. Then just moments later, she noticed a group of men near the Dunbar Court townhouses across the street acting suspicious. Her video capturing the horrific sounds of what came next.
Help me put my kids in the car. Help me put mine in the car. We could take them to the other park. You want to take them to Highland? Come on. Let's go. Get my son.
The pregnant mother, her brother, and her children ran away as fast as they could. Luckily, no one was injured. Kokomo police say roughly 30 shots were fired. They tell me 2 groups were firing at each other. 5 men fled in a red pickup truck and led police on a high-speed chase. Officers were able to arrest them on 11 charges, with more to come tonight. If you know anything, call police and report it.
We cannot do this by ourselves. We need people to come forward, say something, help us take the community back, and send a message that we will not tolerate this in the city of Kokomo.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The dump truck driver accused of causing a deadly chain reaction crash in Avon admitted to snorting heroin earlier that day. And that new information is included in court documents that were released today. 63-year-old Danny Williams faces multiple criminal charges, including causing death while operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, leaving the scene of an accident, and reckless homicide. Police say he caused the crash yesterday on Highway 36 that killed Gerald and Rhonda Legan, both 80 years old. Investigators also named Williams as a suspect in a hit-and-run crash that happened 3 hours before that fatal collision. New tonight, an Indianapolis man is sentenced to 45 years for killing his wife during an argument at their Northside home. In May of 2018, Alvin Perkins called police to his home in the 2000 block of Boulder Drive. He told them he had shot his wife. Officers found Mona Perkins in the bedroom with multiple gunshot wounds. She died at the hospital. Perkins told investigators that he shot his wife as she tried to throw a lamp at him. He said he meant to shoot the lamp out of her hands, but instead the bullets struck his wife.
7:05 on what has been a very nice day. Quite a transition from yesterday. Humidity's down. We'll put it in the feels great category. That will continue for a couple more days thanks to this, the north wind, and it's fairly light. It will be under 10 miles per hour tonight and tomorrow, and the cooler temperatures will start to just sag to the south. It's 72 in Lafayette now, still 5 degrees warmer than that down in Bloomington. Between now and 10 o'clock, we'll drop into the 60s everywhere with the light wind and the sky clearing. Patchy fog will be around during the overnight hours into the morning, but there are the temperatures that you'll wake up to. There's still summer warmth, though, to be found in the 7-day planner.
It's already a busy place, so here's a question for you. Is there room for a huge apartment complex near Broad Ripple? Some say yes, others say maybe not. Today, both sides attended a zoning hearing on the issue. Developers want to build nearly 270 apartments on less than 6 acres of the parking lot at Glendale Town Center, that's near 62nd and Rural. That's on the city's northeast side. Nearby residents say they're concerned about the density of that project with so many units packed into a tight space. They're also raising concerns about potential traffic problems.
Traffic will increase on Rural Street when you have 300 or 400 additional people that will be living there with children, going to school, going to work. It already is a crowded situation, especially at 62nd Street and Keystone.
Neighbors want the developers to take a closer look at the traffic flow in that area. The developers say they're willing to listen to any concerns, but they say the benefits to the neighborhood far outweigh any potential problems. Tonight, 90 race car drivers from different leagues, they're converging at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway dirt track for the Driven to Save Lives BC 39 race. It's a 2-day race that honors the late USAC champion and Noblesville native Brian Clausen. RTV6's sports director Dave First live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Dave, what is the latest and what's going on?
Yeah, it is a very special race honoring, of course, the late, great Brian Clausen, but this has become really a spectacle in its own right. They had 110 entries just a year ago for the inaugural BC 39. This year, it's 90 strong. You might be able to hear them behind me on the other side of the grandstands. By the way, the grandstands packed. They expect a sellout perhaps tomorrow in night number 2 when it all culminates in the second annual BC 39. So if you're thinking about coming out here and enjoying some quarter-mile dirt track racing, get your tickets now because this place will be packed tomorrow night. And by the way, if you show up, you can't leave without getting a T-shirt from your favorite drivers. So a long line of T-shirts are available. Spencer Basin next door. These are all the Tim Clausen, the Clausen Marshall T-shirts that are available. Tyler Courtney joined us at 6 o'clock. You can get one of his Sunshine T-shirts. Look at all the colors, though. What you don't see are a lot of white T-shirts. Why is that? Because we're at a dirt track. The last thing you want to do is wear white at a dirt track. Trust me, I know. But anyway, it should be a lot of fun tonight. Take a look at the schedule. Really, this kicks off the annual 26th annual, if you can believe it, Brickyard 400 weekend, because after tonight, the BC 39 comes up again tomorrow night with some of the main races beginning at 7:15, the D main, C main, B main, and then the finale of the BC 39 should happen around 9:30 or so tomorrow night. Then Friday, NASCAR rolls in. 2 Xfinity Series practices on the big oval here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Saturday, 2 Cup practices, Xfinity Series qualifying, then the Indiana 250 after that. And then Sunday, the big show, the 26th annual Big Machine Vodka 400 at the Brickyard, powered by Florida Georgia Line. Just beginning a really good weekend, and the weather spectacular for a change here in August, September, after Labor Day weekend here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Much more tonight at 11 o'clock. For now, Dave First reporting live, RTV6 Sports.
Dave, thank you so much. We've seen the destruction Hurricane Dorian has left behind, but it is not over yet. Now the East Coast is getting ready to take a hit. The latest when the news at 7 continues.
We share it with you on Good Morning Indiana.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
This has been a long, slow wait for a monster storm that's just taking its time, and it's keeping everyone guessing as to where and when Hurricane Dorian will strike again. Dorian is finally creeping up the East Coast, staring down Georgia and the Carolinas. A hurricane warning now extends from the north of the Savannah River along the coast of the Carolinas into Virginia. Dorian is now a Category 2 hurricane that may thrust record-breaking storm surges and flooding into low-lying areas of South Carolina.
Starting late this afternoon for 36 hours, I want Charleston to be a ghost town. I want everybody out of sight. If they're not out of town, inside, hunkered down, and safe.
Images from the Bahamas show Dorian's wrath. As you can see, some islands were almost wiped away after the storm parked itself overhead for 2 straight days as a Category 5 hurricane. Chris Stewart has a look at the efforts to help in that area.
Life is getting back to normal here in Cocoa Beach today. We saw some wind and rain overnight, but while this part of Florida, as well as much of Florida's coastline, really lucked out that this storm stayed offshore, it is a storm that has already done so much damage in the Bahamas.
There's a little baby here, there, a boy there.
The videos are difficult to watch.
It came over the roof. I would imagine 21 feet at least. We were doing all right until the water kept coming up and all the appliances were going around the house like a washing machine.
The stories are hard to imagine.
My poor little wife got hypothermia and she was standing on top of the kitchen cabinets until they disintegrated.
Howard Armstrong was rescued from the waters that rushed into his home. His wife didn't survive.
I kept with her and she just drowned on me.
Now aerial images are showing the widespread damage Dorian left behind. This is video of the U.S. Coast Guard flying over what is now a disaster zone. On the ground, there's a rush to find those still missing.
A lot of people we can't even find at the moment. Families uncountable for at the moment. My brother's wife, we can't even find her at this moment. The last time he said she was clinging onto a piece of cardboard or try to stay afloat. And we found him stuck in a tree.
People are trying to provide relief. This GoFundMe, started by a nonprofit, has already raised tens of thousands of dollars. The Red Cross believes Dorian severely damaged or destroyed more than 13,000 homes. The United Nations thinks 60,000 people will need food, 62,000 will need clean drinking water. But until that help arrives, volunteers will continue to use boats and jet skis to search for survivors in areas run over with water.
But the rescue goes on. We have a lot of people supporting us. Everybody working as a team right here, you know. It's very hard, but you know what I'm saying, but we shall overcome. But we are getting survivors as we go.
Well, the Coast Guard has already airlifted more than 20 people injured by this storm, and the Red Cross is putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into the relief effort. But all of this is just the beginning of what will be a very long recovery process for the islands and the people who call them home. I'm Chris Stewart reporting.
And just to show you how active the hurricane season has become, there are 4 different named storms right now, including the Atlantic, Gulf of Mexico, and then the Eastern Pacific Ocean. Talking more about Dorian, I just want to roll this computer model out from our present time to Friday, and you'll see it come close to making landfall there along the Carolinas, then move to the north and east, and it's not until the weekend that that really starts to clear the northeast and no longer be an issue. For us, clouds with all the rain from Dorian staying along the East Coast. We've got no issues until maybe a chance for a shower or thunderstorm Sunday. 20% chance, certainly not overwhelming. Wouldn't change your plans. Looks good news for people coming in town for Brickyard 400 weekend. About to lead the way into the 60s. It's 71 in Peru, 77 in Terre Haute and Bloomington. Just to show you, we've carved out the cooler temperatures through the Great Lakes. The heat and humidity have been pushed to the south, held off to the west for now. Big area of high pressure over the Great Lakes will be our insurance marker. Generally clear nights and then a sunny day tomorrow and a light wind as well. Temperatures below the average high of 83 for this time of year. And central Indiana will continue to enjoy these comfortable conditions for a little while. My computer was not treating me well, but I win the battle almost every time. 51 in Logansport. These are very cool temperatures for this time of year. Lower to middle 50s down to the south. Coolest morning within the 7-day planner, but there'll be other mornings in the 50s. We'll see some patchy fog as well. During the day tomorrow, sunshine to the rescue after the cool start. By noon, 70. Afternoon readings up to 77. The wind remains light. More clouds Friday. I doubt if we'll see any showers. Some of the computer models try to create a few sprinkles with a cold front that moves through. Most of us stayed dry, and that's the case as we get into Friday night football as well as most of the weekend. The chance for a shower or thunder shower just 20%. That on Sunday. Notice 86 next Tuesday, mid-80s on Wednesday. There's the summer warmth that comes back.
I'm stopping at Sunday.
There you go.
Okay. Just enjoy everything up to Sunday. Thank you.
Good idea.
Trading the physical classroom for a virtual one. Just ahead in your Hiring Hoosiers report, the unique program allowing students of all ages the chance to learn from home. That as the news at 7 continues.
Just like doing that.
The mission of RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is to help you find the jobs, the skills, the resources that you need to be successful in your career. And right now, we're focusing on educational opportunities. Some students are not going to a school building. That's because their school is online. RTV6's Erin Lish shows us how this is becoming a successful way to get to the classroom, to career, and be ready.
Life can certainly throw you curveballs, but for one teen, she's overcoming all of those obstacles by going to school online.
Being able to just bring my computer wherever I go, it definitely helps a lot more.
15-year-old Alicia Gregory goes to school online every day through K-12's Indiana Digital Learning School. Alicia meets with her teachers virtually to go over the material of every class.
They always make sure you participate, that way you were learning.
After her mother passed away from sepsis, transportation became an issue, and she couldn't handle the emotional toll of going back to a brick-and-mortar school.
Having to go to public school was definitely going to be a chore to me because it's just something that I wasn't up to.
She's currently taking 7 courses and now on track to graduate a year early, which her sister says is thanks to virtual school.
With her being in K-12, I feel like that's what's kept her great grades.
All of her textbooks and materials for school to complete her courses are free, which is just one aspect that has helped not only Alicia, but her family.
For anybody who is in a struggling family, whether it be financially or medically, this is definitely something that you should put your child in.
Through virtual school, Alicia is figuring out her future career path, which she believes would make her mother proud.
Now I know that I specifically want to be a pharmaceutical scientist, and I think that she would think that it's super cool that her daughter really wanted to.
Working for you, Erin Lish, RTV6.
Erin, thank you so much. Hiring Hoosiers tells stories of opportunity for all ages. Look for a look at the rest of our content. Head over to the RTV6 app or our website, hiringhoosiers.com. We'll be right back.
With locations across Indiana.
Facebook is taking new steps to stop the spread of misinformation when it comes to vaccinations. They're launching educational pop-up windows that will appear when users search for vaccine-related content. The pop-ups will contain links to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Similar windows are also coming to Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Now, the move comes as the number of people sickened by the measles in the U.S. this year surpasses 1,200. Facebook isn't completely removing all anti-vax information because it says users should be able to see both sides of this ongoing debate. A black bear cub apparently liked the service at a Montana hotel. Guests were stunned when they walked into the women's restroom and they saw the bear lounging across the sink. The lodge is pretty close to Yellowstone National Park, and bear encounters are not all that rare. But seeing one sleeping in a bathroom, yes, has to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Park officials soon arrived and they tranquilized the bear. They released it after checking its vitals and confirming that that bear was healthy there in Montana.
It's about time to hibernate. Not too far.
I would run.
To the desk. There's a bear in there. Temperatures will be in the 50s in the morning. Afternoon high tomorrow at about 77 degrees.
Kevin, thank you so much, and thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Mark and Amanda with our next newscast tonight at 11. In the meantime, you have a great evening and stay away from bears.